Alright, so welcome to another edition of R&R The Raj and Rich Show. I'm Raj.
And I'm Rich.
He wishes.
I do. Because we would be doing this in a professional studio.
We would.
Without having issues trying to go live on Facebook.
Because fucking Facebook is the fucking...
I don't know if you guys are having the same problem I am. I know I normally do a little bit of a Facebook live feed before we go handle it, kind of give people a little bit of a heads up. You know, as well as all the links that we tag and everything else. But unfortunately, Facebook Live is not working. And at first I thought maybe it's just one of my devices fucking up, but both of them, same exact error. So, and neither one of them need to be updated. So I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know why, and personally, fuck it.
Oh,
right?
Wow.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, how has your week been? We're 1 week into the new year. 1 week. 1 week into the new year. It's been cold as shit until the last 2 days.
Yep.
Texas, they thought the world was going to end. It was starting to look like Fallout 4 in downtown Austin. Everybody just was running for the hills because it actually froze over.
Yeah.
This is how bad the drivers in Austin are. This is how bad the drivers are in Austin, okay? On Tuesday, it was freezing ass cold the whole day, okay? Then it decided to rain a little bit. And so, once the temperature dropped below 32, of course, the overpasses immediately froze. And so, all the multitudes of little creek passes all over West Austin. It took Austinites all of 20 minutes to record a total of 59 accidents, including one fatality.
In 1 day?
No, they did this, yeah, in 20 minutes. 59 wrecks in 20 minutes, and one person got killed.
Jesus,
folks! Because it says four-wheel drive does not mean you can legitimately drive the speed limit in four-wheel drive. It doesn't work that way.
fucking idiots.
Because when ice forms on the road, bad news. Now you have 4 skis. That's what you have on your car, unless you're running with studs, and nobody's gonna put studs in the car in Austin. It's not going to happen. There's no reason to. This happens once a year, every 5 years.
It ain't the North.
Okay. So, folks, if they say that the roads are icing over, just pull off the side of the road, take your smart mode, and watch a movie until it ends.
Yeah.
That's your safest bet. Or, don't go the fuck outside. You know, some of y'all motherfuckers need to stay and work a little bit longer and catch up on some of that shit from New Year's. Y'all get turned around and caught up on that shit and not had to worry about it the rest of the week. And then y'all wouldn't have gotten a wreck. Just saying. Public service announcement.
People are idiots.
Trying to help out here. That's what I'm trying to do. So, folks, today we had the first ever time that I ran a Magic Master. It was a disaster.
No, I wouldn't say so.
I think it was, mainly because in all the years I've been in Amtgard, I have never ever run a Magic Master. I've never even attended one.
Well, that's why you have me.
So, but we put something together. But you know, the thing is the way it all kind of went down. We could have done a whole lot better than we did.
Yeah,
we really could have.
Also, if it had actually been, you know, like projected and
promoted, and we had a lot more people there,
then probably would have made a bit more of a difference.
But the people that were there, for the most part, had a good time with it.
They did.
But I do think, on all honesty, now that I know how it's supposed to go, because I've now been a part of it and part of its operating,
yes,
the next time we do it, I have a much better plan already in my head on how to do it next time.
Oh yeah.
Okay. If you're familiar with the Pro Bowl in the NFL, it's the game before the Super Bowl. They take all the guys that are all-stars and everything for the season. They play off in a game. They put them on 2 teams and square off.
Yeah.
It's kind of a joke game in a way, but it's still okay. Before that, they have skills competitions for the different positions in there. And I've already started to put together a plan, kind of like the Pro Bowl for the quarterbacks for the Magic casters. You know, different skills competitions, stuff like that. So I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be something that'll be a lot longer, and it will encompass a lot of different things to exercise everybody's ability in Magic. So,
yeah, absolutely.
You know, the good, bad, and the ugly, people had a good time. The bad was... it wasn't advertised enough. The ugly was we threw it together, you know, kind of at the last minute, and you know, I think if we would have spent a little more time on it, I think we'd have been better.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right.
But the good of it is that, you know, everybody that participated had fun.
Yeah. Distant won.
Distant won. Followed by Magus.
I mean, no surprise in first and second.
No.
Not whatsoever.
No. It was only a difference of like 4 points.
I think the odds were 1 to 1.5 for Distant and 1 to 2, or 2. No, sorry, 1.5 to 1 for Distant to win it, 2 to 1 for Magus to win it, and like William Squire was a dark horse.
It was like 65 to 1.
Like 65 to 1. You know, so. But hey, he podiumed in one of the brackets.
He did.
He did. So.
He got third in the best for Wizard.
Yo.
But technically that was, I'm not saying this to put him down or anything like that, but he was only one of 3 people that participated.
Hey, he's still podium.
He's still podium.
Still podium. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, and then Lufa got 3rd overall.
Our station manager.
Yes, got 3rd.
Fenris got 3rd overall. He made sure to tell us that in the memo at the bottom. We knew that, and we were working our way into that, but he wanted to make sure we overly knew that.
Yes.
So there we go. So, on to other Amtgard things. This month is Amtgard Guard Month. Now, we have no clue what that entails, other than the fact that by what I was looking at, different kingdoms are pushing people to create garb. Some kingdoms are pushing people to wear garb, which wearing garb is good.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing you did not do today.
No, I did not.
Okay. It's okay though. It's okay.
No, I'm lazy.
It's not. No. It's okay. All right. And there's some places that even said that, look, you're not going to get any credit whatsoever other than color if you do not wear any garb.
And the only thing that I have to say about that is if you try to force a player to wear garb and say that they're not going to get a credit for coming out doing their thing if they're not wearing garb, well then you can lick my tic-tac-sized hairy Indian fucking dick.
Tic-tac size. Wow,
Yeah.
it's grown.
It has.
Okay.
From the size of a hung gnat to a tic-tac.
Hey.
That's only because I'm popping a chubby right now because of how pissed off I am.
At least it's getting bigger. So we're getting optimistic.
It's only because I'm popping the chubby because of how angry I am at this shit.
Well, I get that, but it's still bigger.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like they say in a Monty Python movie. You know, always look to the bright side.
I suppose.
So there you go. It's not a negative. So anyway, folks, I will tell you from being a veteran of this game, wear garb. You should wear garb. It helps the overall appearance, you know, and the ambiance. I said ambiance. You know, no, it's pronounced ambiance when you're speaking about an overall feel. Okay. It adds to it. Okay.
Oh yeah.
It really does. Now, you got some people like, well, I don't care, I'm not wearing garb ever. Well, then be an idiot. You know, go out there, and when people drive by, they see a guy in a t-shirt and a pair of shorts swinging a stick at somebody, like, yeah, that guy's a retard. This is long sleeve, it's not a t-shirt. That's why I made sure I said t-shirt.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, go ahead and do that. You know, I will continue to wear garb, like this smashing tunic that Jill made. Okay. Okay, I wear garb. I wear garb at fighter practices. People like show up in basketball shorts at fighter practice. I'll wear garb. I don't care. I wear garb. I'll go to Walmart, go shopping, wear garb. Just because. It looks cooler than my normal shit I own.
We've done it a few times.
Alright, so there you go. So it's garb month in Amtgard.
Moving on to EH.
Yes, well, you know, at first you were probably thinking we weren't going to have anything steamy to talk about.
Well, we didn't think so either until we started looking it up.
I will say I had to scour through every kingdom because this one got kept under the radar.
Yes.
I don't know how. Usually something like this I should have blown up.
Yeah.
And so we're going to blow it up.
Yes, we will.
Okay. In EH, evidently, they're discussing they're going to vote on banning a player. This person...
no.
Oh, no.
That's
This was
Golden
the
Vale.
one. That's Golden Vale. Sorry, I jumped ahead. EH has banned a player, and they haven't even done the investigation yet.
That's a huge no-no.
There's an accusation of something happening, and they just up and banned a player. Is this going to be is this now going to be the standard? Walk around, hey, he did that to me. You're banned until we figure it out.
Alright, so I will say this when it comes to banning a player, especially when an investigation is not completed. You, sir, are a fucking dumbass.
You are.
And the reason why I can say this is because I've been in a position, in 2 different positions in a kingdom, where it has to deal with going ahead and signing off on a ban. If you're doing an investigation on somebody, whether it's a COC 3, COC 6, COC 2, COC 1, I don't give a shit.
Or COC 1000.
I don't give a fucking shit. If you're going to go ahead and ban somebody, you better make sure you have every single thing that you need in order to go ahead and justify that banning. If there's an investigation going on, then you can indefinitely suspend somebody.
If it's an investigation by mundane authorities.
Exactly. If it's an investigation by mundane authorities, you can indefinitely suspend a player until the investigation is complete. Because a suspension is different than a banning.
First of all, ban. Yeah, ban can be removed. However, ban holds heavier words and it's a heavier language than suspension. Okay. Now, I get it. This person probably fucked up because the only people that were arguing this was the people that said, "Hey, you just banned a person and you haven't even done an investigation yet." Okay, that's the only thing they were arguing. They weren't arguing whether or not this person fucked up. They were arguing the fact that you just banned a person and you haven't even done an investigation.
And I will say this, Cal, you're a great guy. I met you. We've talked. Everything's awesome. You're good. Okay? The only thing is, if you ban somebody outright without completing investigation, you open yourself, your kingdom, and the BOD, and anybody who is involved in that banning to legal liability.
Yes, you do. Because here's the deal. People pay money into this. Okay? This ain't a free sport. As much as we say in the rulebook, it's completely free. It's not. If you want to go to an event, you got to pay. If you want decent equipment to keep up with everybody on the field, you're going to have to pay. Okay? You don't necessarily have to pay every single time you come out to park to play. Sure, that part's free. But in order to participate to the full extent of the organization, no matter what kingdom you're in, you got to pay money. So money is changing hands. And you just removed a person completely. They have nothing they can do, they are allowed to do whatsoever with this organization, who's contributed money into the organization. You now can be sued.
And here's the thing. On top of that, with you as the monarch, you are the leader of a non-profit organization.
You are the CEO, friend. I know. I had a lawyer explain that to me the night they took my kingdom away from me when I got my crown.
Was it Jesus Lang?
Yeah, but legally he's right.
Yes.
The king or queen of a kingdom is a CEO
of a non-profit
organization.
Therefore, for anything that you do,
you're liable. Everything you do, you're legally liable.
And it doesn't matter if anybody signs a waiver or anything like that. Waivers only count for Battlefield.
So congratulations, you just opened the door to a possible lawsuit if this person wants to be a dickhead. Way to go. That was brilliant. You guys totally, all of you out there that are doing these just bans left and right for just random shit. Yeah, and I get it. There's been some bans in the last year that have been completely and totally legitimate. There's been some people that had to fucking go. Okay? But then you get a situation like this, where they just banned a person while they're conducting an investigation. And somebody asked on the thread, they said, "Hey, is this a mundane investigation?" They said, well, if it was a mundane investigation, it had to be kept private. So by you announcing that you banned somebody and it's undergoing an investigation, because you said it had to keep private, that tells us that it's not a mundane investigation. You just open the door. You're like, "Hey, lawsuit, come right on in. Hang out with us."
Now, speaking of bannings.
No, jeez, yeah.
We're going to take this over to fucking Golden Vale.
The same place that was discussing, and I haven't heard anything because I've been watching it every day. The same place that was talking about banning a person for farting on somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same place. Go ahead.
So apparently, the stupid fucks in Golden Vale want to continue banning a player who was banned for 3 months. For what, COC 3?
No, it was causing. Basically what I read off of it was they were causing a unwelcoming environment.
So COC 6.
Yeah, COC 6.
Okay, so this person gets banned for 3 months already for a COC 6. But apparently they want to continue banning the player because he does not agree with the goddamn Cool Kids Club.
Nope. Evidently, they have a discussion about something that was going on. He inputted his 2 cents. And evidently, his 2 cents were very blunt, to the point. But he didn't bullshit them. And according to the moderators of the Facebook page, he was being civil. But because the cool kids like this deal, and he doesn't, Goldenvale has this little rule. I didn't know this rule existed. It ranks right in their stupidity, like knighting Darva in a field with a foam sword. Okay? Here's the deal. According to them, if a person has a beef with another person and thinks they should be removed from the game, all they got to do is bring it up, post about it, and it's brought into their next all thing for discussion. So the populace will now vote on whether or not this person should be banned. And so let's give a scenario locally. Okay? Because we all know, based off of our last year of things, that your fighting company currently controls the seat of power in this kingdom through its numbers. It has the numbers, okay? So it has the numbers. And say you guys decide you don't like me, okay? Say you hate me. You want me gone because I don't agree with anything you guys got going on, which is a load of shit, okay? But we're doing an example, okay? According to those rules, all you need is a member of your fighting company to post and say, I want this person brought up for review of banning and voted on by the populace at the next all thing. And guess what?
It gets brought up.
It gets brought up, and if your entire company is all dues paid and active and eligible to vote, your entire company could vote me right the fuck out into a ban.
So here's the thing.
That is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen.
If you're so fucking pussyfooted and fucking sensitive at any fucking thing just because somebody does not agree whatever the fuck that you're gonna fucking say, and you want to fucking ban them, you, in itself, is fucking stupid.
Okay, first of all, there's a reason why every other kingdom has the rule that says the monarch and the prime minister have to agree on
No,
banning
that's
them.
not every other kingdom. That's in the rule book.
Well, I understand that, but evidently they can vote, and I guess how they circumvent this. It goes to vote, the populace votes on it, and then the kingdom and the prime minister probably sign off on it. That's called not having testicles as a monarch. That's exactly what that's called.
You're fucking idiots.
Okay, that's called not having testicles. It really is. Because as a monarch of a kingdom, when you take the office, you agree that sometimes you may have to make the bad call. You agree that sometimes you make the right call. It's not all fucking roses and hot honeys in a Caribbean island. Okay? It's not. Okay? It's hell. There's a reason why people don't do monarch positions over and over and over and over and over and over again. Okay? You'll get some that'll do it a couple times, but then after a while it wears on them and they're done. Okay? A lot of the times, like the presidency of the United States, they go in, they look young, they come out looking old. Our nigga is the same way right now. Okay? He went into this looking young.
Yeah, that's it. You got him, put it back.
And he's looking old. Okay? Already. You know, I mean, hell, it caused me to have a heart attack, for fuck's sakes. I mean, but still. Oh, this is stupid. There's no point. And here's the deal. He disagrees with something that the cool kids like, so now the cool kids have put him up for a vote and an all thing to suspend him. Okay, I honestly thought about committing some fuckery and posting on their page. Hey, since according to this, all you have to do is have a citizen of Goldenvale put somebody up, and they got to vote on the next all thing to get banned. I got $1,000 as one of you can't get your monarch banned. Your current sitting monarch banned. You know, I don't get it. Why? What is the fucking point? Do you guys have to go through these votes all the fucking time? Not to mention the fact there was at least 15 to 20 posts out of 136 that did nothing but say this is the bullshit that goes on in this kingdom where we've all turned, where everybody who's in charge is turned into snowflakes, and they're butthurt over every little thing. If you tell them the wind wasn't blowing at an event, they want you banned. I mean, it's ridiculous. Why the fuck would anybody want to go to Goldenvale at this point? You walk in there, if you don't kiss the right ass, your ass gets brought up in an old thing and you get kicked out.
In the words of Admiral Akbar, it's a trap.
It's a trap! So, I'm not going to beat this into the ground. It's a dead horse. Okay? But the problem is, this is stupid. This is by far stupid. It should not be a thing.
Apparently, just stay the fuck away from the East Coast.
Seems like as soon as you get above South Carolina, all shit goes, all hell just goes to shit. However, speaking of our, yeah, I was going right there right now.
Yep.
Speaking of our friends on the eastern shore of the United States of America, Neverwinter may be in discussions at their next all thing to change their kingdom name. Why, you ask? Well, because here recently, in the last 48 hours, winter actually happened in Neverwinter. So they are technically no longer Neverwinter.
Now they are rarely winter, or not winter all the time, or sometimes winter.
Winter happened once. You know, could be there. But then you're going to have to go to an all thing again once it winters again. Almost Neverwinter.
Yeah.
There you go. Because most of the time out of the year, it's not winter.
Sometimes Neverwinter.
That's why I said South Carolina.
Or Neverwinter most of the time.
Yeah. So you guys may want to rethink that, because it will actually, it snowed in Florida.
Fucking idiots.
You know. No, they're not.
I don't know.
Okay. I know the guy I know one of the guys that started that kingdom, or got that kingdom going. They're not idiots. You know, pretty much we did an expose on New Year's Eve about Florida, how crazy it was, and then what happens that week? They cap it off with doing a fucking winter.
Yep.
Go figure. Neverwinter for the first time had an ice brawl tournament, or didn't. I don't know. I don't think. Really, right behind us. You got to lick your nuts. Live TV.
My dog, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, his dog has decided now is the time to lick his genitals. You heard it here live. Alright, so.
I should take that new knife of mine and just cut his balls
No,
off.
no. We're not going to do that, because you're going to open us up for lawsuits, and we're going to be no better than EH.
Oh.
The last thing we need is, we don't need PETA on us.
Yeah, I
People
suppose.
for eating tasty animals. That's a good group. The other people, not a good group.
I mean, I've castrated horses, so it just can't be any more different.
I'm pretty sure it would be. They're smaller.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, let's move on.
Moving
about
on.
Cutting off nuts. Folks, this next session, the next little section is something... Segment. New segment. It's not going to probably go on all the time, but...
No.
However, this man right here is an excellent cook, regardless of what the fuck he tells you.
Sometimes.
No, he's an excellent cook.
I have my moments.
And he found a recipe and rolled with it, and it was fucking phenomenal. So please tell them about what you did and what it is and all that.
So the recipe that I cooked the other night and a few nights before that, it's called stuffed meatloaf. Go ahead, the way that I did, I took 3 pounds of ground chuck, went ahead, seasoned it with Italian seasoning, put some garlic powder, some onion powder, salt, pepper, what have you, and some Italian breadcrumbs. Go ahead, make it, and 1 egg, just like how you make a regular meatloaf.
Yes.
Go ahead and take it into a dish, form it into a dish, but you leave a nice little trough right in the middle. Go ahead and fill that trough up with cream cheese. Cream cheese, roll the meat over it so it's nice and covered, make another trough. Go ahead and take slices of mozzarella cheese, layer it all the way on top, crack some eggs right on top of it. So now it looks like you got meat with cheese on top and some eggs. Throw it in the oven at about 400 to 425 degrees for about 35 to 40 minutes. When it comes out, because it's nice and juicy and succulent, and they'll tell you the rest.
Yeah, it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Some of the best meatloaf I've ever had. Absolutely. I wouldn't quite go as far as to say orgasmic, but I would say it's probably one of the best meatloafs I've ever had.
Almost as good as my beef stew.
The beef stew was amazing. It really was.
Alright, so that ends it for Fister's Food Corner.
Yep, that ends it right there. And that's pretty much it for our Amtgard stuff. Still trying to see if it's going to work now. Hey, look, it's back up. And I'm not quite sure what the fuck it's looking at. Where's my camera? Oh, it's front facing. No, we have to... Okay, so anyway.
Hey, there you go. I fixed it.
Yeah, you did. You fixed it. It's a little grainy, but... I'll get this.
No, hold on. Yeah, fuck it.
Okay, I'll get this. You talk about the organ.
Alright, so moving on to our mundane bullshit that's going on around the U.S. Well, technically, around the world. So apparently in Oregon, they passed this new law, because apparently Oregon used to be one of the states where you cannot pump your own gas. Whatsoever. They had station attendants to do it for you.
First time I ever went to Oregon, I got out to start pumping my own gas. A guy came out yelling at me. I thought I wasn't aware that I was breaking the law.
Yeah. As of January 1st, a new law has taken place in Oregon to where they make it to where you have to pump your own gas now.
Yes.
And guess what? This is what we call the green gas crisis.
It is a crisis.
The reason being for that is because motherfuckers in Oregon don't know how to pump their own gas. I've even seen pictures of some dude putting the gas nozzle where you put oil into your engine.
There was one lady that was putting diesel into her Nissan.
It wasn't just one lady. It was about 38% of the populace of Oregon that has done this already.
They've started putting diesel in their gasoline cars. You know, the bad part about it is you go down the road all right for like the first couple miles. Yeah. Because you got regular fuel in the line. But man, as soon as that diesel runs through, there ain't gonna be any mosquitoes anywhere near your car for 5 miles.
The idiotic thing about this, the reason why that they were putting diesel into their gasoline vehicles is because it has the green cover on it to signify between regular unleaded and diesel fuel.
They thought the green nozzle meant it was the environmentally friendly
green
gasoline.
Gas.
Which a lot of your cars that are out there on the road can't run on that shit anyway.
Fucking idiots.
Okay? They should have put out a warning. They should have put out like an instructional video that plays like every half hour or like at the top of every hour on how to pump your own gas. Because, I mean, seriously, and it makes me wonder, this is what's bad. All of these people that did this, right? How many of them leave the fucking state? Because Washington doesn't have a mandatory gas station policy.
Nope.
You know, attendant policy. California doesn't have an attendant policy. Idaho doesn't have an attendant policy. Nevada doesn't have an attendant policy. So that covers most of the states right around the area. That covers all the states around the area.
Yep.
Did y'all never fucking leave?
The
Oregon sucks. I've been there. If I lived there, I wouldn't want to stay there.
The fucking pictures are so horrendous and so idiotic that you can take 2 pieces of fucking bread, put them in between, now make a goddamn idiot fucking sandwich.
And the other thing, now I will say this much for the photos that are running around out there. Okay, I will say this. Okay, and by the way, our station manager's right. He said the pumps have speakers, so they should have a little instructional message playing on a loop. Not all the photos are legit. Okay, because there's some photos where the nozzle was still in the car with the hose hanging out of it.
Yeah.
But then if you looked and you zoomed in on the photo, they're like Wisconsin plate.
Yeah.
Okay. Most likely that somebody that was on their goddamn cell phone while they were pumping gas walked away, got in a car, and rolled off. Okay?
Some of these are
but I mean, seriously.
Real.
I mean, there's a picture, literally, legitimately a picture of a lady driving a Nissan. And here's the bad part about it. It's a GTR. It's a really nice fucking car. Does not run on diesel. Okay? Your really nice car is now a brick. Because guess what they're going to have to do to fix that problem now?
They have to drain all the fuel lines. They have to clean the entire fucking car. Replace a bunch of fucking shit.
They have to pull the entire top end of the engine out. Clean it. Okay, they have to redo the intake system. You're talking about spending about half of what the car's worth in order to fix your fuck up. And
I
hope the insurance companies do not pay the bill for this. I really hope not. I hope stupidity is not in the clause. Yeah, I agree with you. $20 says they do.
I've seen a picture of this lady literally holding the gas nozzle above the actual fucking fuel line that you fucking put your shit in.
You're talking about the fuel intake port.
Yes, the fuel intake port. Holding it and holding down the fucking trigger on the fucking thing to spray the gas into it.
How they haven't gotten somebody killed out there yet, I don't know. I'm pretty sure the gas station attendants that showed up Monday morning all sat there and were like, let's just sit back in a chair and watch this shit. With a fire extinguisher. And wearing a fire suit. And everything. And hazmat. I tell you what, state hazardous material, or the State Department of Natural Resources, them motherfuckers are making a killing now doing all the cleanup.
No. One of the arguments that people have said about how stupid this law is that came into effect, and these are Oregonians that are saying this shit. The reason why they're saying this shit, because they're like, oh, well, I don't have, proper protection. I don't have, like gasoline hazmat suits to pump my own gas. And I don't want to smell like gas when I leave from pumping my car and going into work.
I don't have a problem smelling like gas. I have gas all the time.
I mean, how stupid can you fucking be? Seriously. Are you that fucking ill-willed and fucking inbred to not know that you won't smell like gas when you pump your own gas in your own fucking car?
Yeah, you're going to smell gas because the fume's coming out while you're pumping it. That's going to happen.
The only way that you're going to smell like gas is if you fucking take a shower like fucking Zoolander did.
Yeah. Definitely, dueling banjos plays when you. When I knew this law was coming to an end, I so badly wanted to drive to Oregon just to watch. Like I wanted to roll up in a big ass gas station, and I wanted to sit there and look at the attendants. Go, look, I'm gonna buy a case of beer and sit out in your parking lot in this lawn chair and drink it. And then sit there and just watch the fun happen.
Is it not working?
No, it's still not working. It'll go. It says it'll go live, but then it won't even let you tag in anything or do anything.
Oh, that sucks.
I'm serious. Well, there's one of my problems. It dumped the Wi-Fi again.
Oh.
This tablet has issues. Anyway. So yeah. So folks, if you're going to Oregon, make sure you have a fire extinguisher in your car.
Yeah. Because
these fools are gonna burn the fucking state to the ground. They really are. It's not that difficult to pump gas. I mean, hell, if you look at the pump, right? Because I get fuel all the time.
Yeah.
If you look at the pump, there's a picture of the nozzle, okay? It tells you to take it off. It tells you to flip the little handle, or it tells you to push the button, okay? It shows a picture of it, how it's dispensed into the vehicle.
It even shows it in your vehicle.
If you open your owner's manual, it gives you a picture description of how to pump fuel into your car.
Even some of the fuel injection port covers on the inside has a fucking picture on how to fucking do it.
Yeah,
step by fucking step.
When you open the fuel door on the side of your car, it's a little thing on how to do it. I still like the one where she was sitting back though, squeezing the nozzle and trying to arc it in. I thought that was hilarious. I really did. I thought that was funny as shit.
People, get a fucking life, learn how to fucking read, and stop doing stupid shit.
If you don't know how to do it, for fuck's sakes, YouTube it. I'm pretty damn sure you could probably YouTube a video on how to put fuel in your car. Okay? And you can sit there at the fuel pump, because Mythbusters proved you can use your cell phone when you're pumping gas and it's not going to kill you.
Fucking seeing the stupid shit that people are fucking doing, both Amtgard and mundane wise, makes me wish that my cancer was beating me. So I didn't have to fucking live here and fucking listen to the stupid and horrendous shit that people are fucking doing.
I don't wish for that whatsoever.
No.
Because I need somebody here to make fun of idiots.
Well, you got Miranda.
She takes it to very dark places, though.
Yeah, this is true.
So, Yeah.
My name's Johnny Rico, and I'm from Buenos Aires, and I say kill them all.
Yeah, she also has this thing where you know it immediately goes to her.
Yeah.
So I'm not. No,
What?
never mind.
We're picking on you.
And moving on.
Shut up. We're
And now for
picking.
something completely different.
Right. All right. So
Moving on.
we had a moment in the United States of America where one president decided to tell a ruling dictator that his was larger than his.
Yep.
Donald Trump. Okay, Kim Jong-il. Kim Jong-un. Sorry, Il was dad.
Yes.
Kim Jong-un decided to sit there and talk about how it was the New Year's address. He was talking about all the things going on in the country, which is a load of shit. People are starving to death. People are fucking dying. People are getting thrown into prisons because their great-great-great-great-great-grandfather did something stupid. And they have this whole, you know, family, you know, servitude thing about if somebody fucked up. So anyway, and then he made a mention at the end of his video about how they have
a nuclear button.
He has
on
a
his
nuclear
desk.
button on his desk, and he's ready to use it at any time. Well, like Uncle Rob would say, and then Donald Trump tweeted. Okay, don't get me wrong, I thought this was kind of hilarious. I really did. Donald Trump decided to sit there and respond back on Twitter by saying, I have a nuclear button on my desk. It's bigger than yours, and it works. Now, I'll preface this because I bet you're all sitting there going, well, you know, 2 days after this exchange, North Korea fired a missile to test it, and it failed after it got 3 feet above the launch pad.
Yes.
Backed up what President Trump had to say.
Kim Jong-un, do you need some aloe vera? Because that was a burn.
It was. You know, absolutely burned. So there you go. Yep, there you go. So, yeah. So I don't have a problem with it. There is some things he gets on there and tweets on and on and on about, and I really don't fucking care, and I wish he'd stop. That one I have no problem. Because Kim Jong-un made a point to say at the end of his speech that he has a nuclear button and he's on his desk and he's not afraid to use it. Our president said, look, bitch, yeah, okay, I see yours. Mine's bigger. And it works. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with bragging.
Yes.
I have no problem with bragging the United States is more powerful. Other people like to run and cower in fear and say, oh my God, we can't do this. Why? It's those people that say nobody officially wins and everybody gets a trophy people.
That's when you know that Trump's poker game is on point.
It is. Because then Kim Jong-un tried to call him on his bluff, launch a missile, and the bitch blew up on the launch pad. Like, you fucked up.
And here's Trump going,
right? We need that YouTube. We need the YouTube Vine where all of a sudden the weed and the sunglasses hit and the thug life thing comes across.
yep.
You know, because we just United States just punked your asses out.
Yes.
So there you go. All right, so moving on.
Apparently, in Egypt, there was a hot air balloon crash that killed 1 person and injured 12 others.
Did the Egyptian people not listen to the Bengals when they said walk like an Egyptian?
Apparently not.
You need to walk like an Egyptian because obviously the hot air balloon transportation system is not working.
So apparently in the Luxor region of Egypt, which is where you have, you know, the Valley of the Kings and other, you know, like...
That's where the Valley of the Kings, because Giza is where the pyramids and shit are.
Giza's where the pyramids are.
A little bit
Luxor is where you have the Valley of the Kings, which is actually, you know, the tomb of where King Tutankhamun was found. So apparently there was about 20 people on this hot air balloon. All of them were between Spain, South Africa, and Argentina. So apparently when they went up, you know, to go ahead and do this tour, which is a big thing for tourists to go ahead and do in this region, so that you can actually see, you know.
I think it would be cool. I'm scared to death of fucking heights, but I think it would be a cool thing to do.
I wouldn't have mine, you know.
Well, not now.
Yeah. Anyways, so apparently this isn't the only time a crash has happened like this.
That proves my point that not now.
Apparently there's been 4 other crashes just like this over the years, ranging between 2002 to now.
Yeah.
So apparently the one who died was from South Africa, and the rest of the South Africa, Argentina, and Spain. So apparently the Egypt Air Authority is going to go ahead. Yeah, so apparently the Egypt Air Authority is going to go ahead and ground, flights, air balloon flights, for the next 2 to 6 months to make sure they go ahead and do what they need to do to prevent any of this from happening. But apparently the reason why that this crash happened was because of a harsh wind current that came in, blew the balloon out of course, made it get tangled up, rip, and then crashed.
Okay, so moral of the story is,
check the fucking weather before you go up. Fucking idiots.
the desert is windy. I know, I've been there. You've been there. Okay?
Considerable amount of times.
There's people in this room that have been there. Place fucking windy. You'd be perfectly fine. It'd be dead calm for a month. Then all of a sudden, every day for like a month, after that, it's fucking constant wind. It just happens out of nowhere. Okay? I would not be trusting balloon travel in the desert, knowing what I know.
No.
Not to mention, it'd be my luck, I'd be up there in the balloon, and then that's when one of those, like, once-a-century fucking sandstorms started. You know, you're not sure where you're landing. My luck, we'd land in fucking Iran, and it would be bad.
I've been there.
Oh, speaking of Iran, we don't have this on there. Just a little update, by the way. The hundreds have been arrested and others been killed because the Iranian populace has had enough of their shit. So they're protesting again, and the Iranian government has decided, well, we're either going to arrest you or shoot you. Ain't that a wonderful fucking place to live?
Well, hey, at least they arrested instead of shooting.
However, Donald Trump said we ain't giving them any more goddamn assistance, nor are we giving them or Pakistan any assistance, because they're not helping us either. Way to go. I'm okay with this. Hey, give that money back to us. Several $billion, I could take it.
Yeah.
I'll just build a big-ass house, a nice fucking studio for us to do work in, and we could all live there, and it'd be awesome. So anyway, let's move on.
All right, so moving on to Georgia. Apparently, in Atlanta, Georgia, an owl attacked a woman and her 2 dogs in the backyard.
Who?
A goddamn fucking owl.
An owl.
Now, this lady says, well, you know what? Now, I know of vultures and hawks and eagles circling around. You know, I would think that they're more likely to poach my dogs. But a goddamn owl.
I have seen a video where an eagle or a falcon ran off with a person's dog.
Yes, I've seen that video too. Yeah. So apparently this owl attacks her and her 2 dogs. And we found out the reason why.
This owl has a really big fucking problem with leaf blowers.
This lady was using a goddamn leaf blower in the backyard, you know, pushing out, you know, the leaves that have fallen throughout the fall and the winter. The owl did not like the noise because it was too fucking loud. Instead of the owl calling the cops for a noise ordinance complaint, decided to take matters into his own hands, or wings, so to say, enact vigilante justice, and start trying to take the weave out of this goddamn woman's hair.
That was bad. That owl was having a bad day.
You're telling me.
That owl was just like, fuck it, I've had enough. And the problem is, it's people's fault. If you really think about where we're living nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, it's people.
It's the only moment an owl will go postal.
Yeah, it is. Because the thing is people have moved out to these areas that were normally just forested areas. Their wildlife was running free, and now up pops a housing community with houses as low as $299,000.
Goddamn people taking my lands!
And the owls have finally had enough. They said, "Fuck you,
fucking idiots!
Get the hell out of my neighborhood." You know, taking owl jobs. You know, it's you know, the unemployment rate in the owl community is massive because of humans.
Well, it's better than Little Bunny Foo-Foo.
Yeah, Little Bunny Foo-Foo though. And one crazy bastard.
He's
right there.
A fucking idiot.
Everybody's a fucking idiot.
Yep.
So, there we go. Wanted in 12 states. Yes, he is. He is wanted in 12 states.
Now,
evidently, one of my former roomies is wanted too. Found that out this week. We're not going to go into that.
Now, moving on to our cousins up north in Canada.
A.
Now, here is the stupidest fucking thing in Canada that I've fucking heard.
A.
So apparently Tim Hortons, which is a huge fucking donut chain and a bunch of other shit in Canada, is going through a fucking franchise crisis.
And I'm sorry that earlier when we discussed this, I'm like, what the fuck is Tim Hortons? Because when I was in upstate New York, I went over towards Niagara area, and there is Tim Hortons on the New York side.
Yeah.
In the United States. And I have eaten them. And their donuts aren't that bad.
No. So, apparently this franchise crisis, apparently starting on 1 January 2018. So, they decided to go ahead and act, a minimum wage boost.
Now, a lot of you guys keep saying, have told me on my own Facebook page, minimum wage increase will not cause loss of jobs or benefits.
Well, guess what? This shit right here from Tim Hortons just literally blew that out of the fucking water.
Because all you motherfuckers who sit there and say, show me proof that that legitimately happens. Guess what? Here's the fucking proof.
So Tim Hortons went through a minimum wage boost of $2.40, bringing it up to $14 an hour. Okay.
To make fucking donuts.
Cool. So apparently because of this, some franchise owners in Ontario and a couple other places like Alberta decided to go ahead and take matters into their own fucking hand.
The Great White North.
And go ahead and say, well, you know what? Since we're going to go ahead and give you, a 20% increase in your wages, we're going to start taking shit away from you.
Yeah, because we can no longer afford it to keep the bottom line of our franchise.
So now, before when they used to have paid breaks, which they were allotted for the amount of time
which would have been nice, because I haven't had very many jobs where I got paid breaks.
So you go ahead.
Except the casinos.
Now you have to clock in and out. It's your own responsibility, so no more paid time off. Well, no more paid breaks. Okay.
So you got to take a 15-minute smoke break without getting paid for it.
Okay. Sure. Why not?
Whoop-de-doo.
Okay. We can understand that. Okay.
All right.
Now they're going to go ahead and take away from the employees' meals.
This was the part that I thought was bullshit.
Now, generally, when you're working at a food establishment, when you're on the clock, you can go ahead and do a take-home meal, and it's 50% off because you're working. Well, apparently, if you are clocking out and you are leaving, if you are getting anything, you still have to pay full price.
That's one of the other things I miss about being in the casino. When you did your lunch break, if you're working grave like I did, you got to eat in a coffee shop for free.
Yeah.
They had an employee menu. These were the only things you could order from. But I tell you what, having fucking steak and eggs every night, working the graveyard shift, not the smartest idea in the world, because it makes you want to sleep. But goddamn, I ate more steak working there than I have in my entire life.
On top of that, while you're on shift, yes, drinks are free while you were working. But now, you have to bring in your own cup or your own mug. And the mug has to be porcelain, or it has to be, like a coffee mug.
Or like those Yeti, the stainless steel ones.
Yeah, or those. But if you use a Tim Hortons plastic cup, you have to pay full price for each drink you get.
Which is asinine, because let me tell you something. I was a regional manager at McDonald's, okay? Regional manager. I had 5 of them underneath me, okay? I got paid less than $14 an hour to run 5 McDonald's, too, okay? It was just, I think I was getting 12. But when I was running it, $12 an hour is actually a pretty decent wage.
He only made $2 extra from a window attendant.
No, manager of the store and a drive-through working. Because I did drive-through and managing the store.
Yeah.
It's a hard time getting people to work a drive-through. They always fucked it up. So anyway, that whole check your shit before you leave because they fuck you in a drive-through from Lethal Weapon? Yeah, that's fast food. Dead honest. He was right on the money. Anywho, okay, those cups cost half a cent. Half a cent. And here's the thing. You have an acceptable amount of write-off. You have an acceptable amount of write-off on your list, okay?
Per day.
Because at the end of the year, you take that total amount of acceptable write-off, whether you hit it or not, and you write that off on your business expenses at the end of the year. So guess what? That cup legitimately costs nothing. So to say if you use a Tim Hortons cup, and I'm going to make you pay the $1 whatever it is for a soda. Canadians do they use American money or what? What do they use?
No, they use like loonies and toonies.
Okay, so whatever the fuck it costs in Canada.
scratch and sniff too.
So I'll tell you what, $1. We'll just say $1.23 in American. Well, just say $1. Fuck it, like McDonald's. As long as you buy a meal, every drink's $1 in the menu. So let's just say $1. Okay, you're gonna charge them $1 for a cup you're gonna write the fuck off on at the end of the year anyway. So you fucked them twice. You know, so you're screwing them twice. Now the thing that they eliminated okay, I don't say that I agree with this, but I understand it from a business standpoint.
Oh, the insurance.
Being a person who's run his own business, okay. They cut health benefits because you think about it, you're like, well, $2 and change an hour increase doesn't sound like a lot. You got 5 franchises. They had 5 or 4.
4. Okay,
4 franchises. Okay, each franchise probably employs 110 people. Okay, on average. Okay, you multiply that $2, just say $2 even an hour. Okay, let's just say 2 even. Okay, per 100 people, per, of 4 times all 5 or 4 franchises, times how many hours are operating, times that by how many days in a week, by how many months, how many weeks in a month, by how many months in a year.
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you, that number is astronomical when you think about it, because local franchises, they're not huge cash cows. You're not going to be a multi-millionaire running 4 franchises of a donut shop.
Yeah. But the insurance falls under the actual company, not the franchise.
Yes, I understand that, but still, the company itself, the franchise itself still has to pay into that.
Yes.
And because now they're paying their employees more, they now have less.
So
now they can't. Now they look in a situation where now you're doing this, plus the benefit situation, and now you got to look at. Then this is how they figure it out. I'll tell you how they figure out their numbers when something like this happens. Okay, they take last year's numbers. Okay, they take the last year's numbers at the end of the year when they went to file their paperwork theirs is not the IRS. Okay, with their financial collections agency, because that's what the IRS is. Okay. When they file their paperwork at the end of the year, they have to look. They look at those numbers they turned in last year. Okay, okay. They have a wage cost for the year for all of its employees. They have to take that number and multiply that twice to get the estimated cost increase for the wage adjustment. They have to multiply it twice. Okay. That will project them their costs for the following year. So now they look at what they made after all the bills were paid and the employees were paid. And they have to take that new number and take it out of what they made. I will guarantee you that's a hell of a huge chunk of money.
Oh, yeah.
So, of course, insurance benefits took a hit. Paid vacations took a hit. These are all things that are understandable. As I wish all companies offered benefits that you didn't have to pay for, like working for the city, county, or state.
Yes.
Okay, or the feds. But unfortunately, in reality, it's not possible.
Another thing that they did away with was reimbursement for uniforms.
The uniform thing, the insurance thing, got it. Understand. It sucks, but it's an understandable deal. The food thing, the drink thing, that's bullshit. You're going to tell me now that he can't even get his 50% on, or he couldn't get his free meal while on shift, and now the only thing he's allowed to have is 50% off at the end of his shift to go home with.
No, they don't get that anymore either.
Oh, no, that's right. They don't get that anymore either. They got to pay full price for their fucking food. Okay? That's crap. Okay, that's absolute crap, because it's all part of the acceptable loss and write-off section that's going to happen at the end of the year, regardless of they hit the numbers. If they only had $1,000 in a loss, they're still going to write $100,000 in loss. They're still going to write it off, because they have to have a certain percentage in order to get money.
Yes.
In order to get it cut back. Okay, what?
The increase for the wages in 1 year.
Is for how many people?
410 times 4 restaurants.
Okay. I don't know if y'all will be able to see that. Nope, you can't. All right. So 4 franchises making donuts. Thank you.
110 employees each.
Damn near $1 million fucking dollars. $985,600
For a $2 increase.
for a $2 increase.
So, moving on from Tim Hortons.
Yeah, fuck those people. And we got to be in the spirit of the Canadians. I'm sorry, but fuck you.
I'm not.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's Canadian.
Alright, so moving on to a company that's actually here in the U.S.
And a story we were going to run last week, but we forgot totally about it.
Yes.
So we need to run it this time.
Yes. So apparently Apple is having a fucking power trip, pun intended.
Well, here's the thing, and people wonder, and I made this statement to friends of mine that had iPhones before. I was like, don't you ever notice every time they launch a new iPhone, your service kind of goes weird, like it slows down, it's not the same phone? They're like, yeah, every time they come out with a new one, I get the new one, and the new one's like fast as hell. It's because your old one slowed down, because they send software updates to the old phones, and they throttle them back. Now, supposedly the response has been on the media. They do this to help protect an aging battery system on the phone, and that if you get a new battery installed, your phone will go right back to the way it was when you bought it brand new. Now, I have heard a couple people said they did get brand new batteries in their iPhone. What, the 8 was the last one?
Yes.
Or the 9?
The 9.
The 9.
Because they're coming out with 10.
Yeah, because they just came out with a 10. Or was it the 8?
They came out with the 8 and the
so the 7.
iPhone X.
Okay, so the 7 and the 7 Plus were the old ones.
Yes.
Okay. I knew a guy that had one, and I made the same comment. He goes, yeah. He said, I went to Apple. They changed out they changed out the battery, and it's working fine now. The thing is when you go and you buy a new battery for your phone, they change the software in it to go back to full throttle, but you just spent money on a brand new battery. So either or, they're getting more and more money out of you. Now, here's the thing. Here's the funny thing about all this all going on, besides the fact that there is lots of lawsuits that are now going on against Apple for this. Steve Jobs is probably rolling over his grave. Or no, actually in his urn. I think he was cremated.
Not just a lot, but 26 plus that we know of.
Okay. And these aren't just one individual suing Apple. These are groups of people. Okay. So,
and Apple has admitted to doing this shit.
Yeah, I mean, Apple admitted to it. So here's the thing. Okay. I was going somewhere. My memory just said, fuck it.
Steve Jobs turning grave.
I know that. I was at that. I had already said that part. I was gonna say something. Anyway, no, his phone did get better. But, you know, oh yeah, now I know where I was going with it. I had to think about it. Anywho, smartphone sales this year is actually down.
Yeah,
it's actually down because the problem is now cell phones are, well, the Apples have broke the $1,000 barrier for phones. Okay,
fucking idiots.
the 10, the X or whatever it is. It's a 10 or it's an X. I don't know. They call it both. There was some for sale. So a certain skin. If you got one with a certain skin on it, it was over $1,000.
I swear.
You're shaking your head no, but I know for a fact they had them in New York. There was a special edition. It was a special edition casing on it that sold for $12.45.
I swear. For any of you consumers, go ahead and buy into this Apple bullshit.
Hey, some people love Apple.
You know what? That's perfectly fine. I'm a PC person myself. Okay? If you go ahead and spend an upward of like $1,000 to $2,000 to $4,000 just for a goddamn product just because of the name of Apple, you, sir, need to fucking go choke yourself.
I got a question. I thought we were talking about cell phones.
That too.
You just said you're a PC person. I'm like, did somebody bring back that internet calling service where you can call regular cell phones from your computer again? I forgot what that thing was called. That was a joke.
Anyways,
it didn't work half the time.
Anyways, if you're spending an upward of $1,000 for a goddamn phone, well, you can get a perfectly good one for like $75 from Android. God!
I'm not gonna say that all those $75 and $50 phones are so great.
They're not great, but they work.
They did well. They work. They work.
They do their purpose.
You know what? Here's the deal. You know what they ought to do? Here's how Apple would convince me to start buying their shit. Anybody that shows up to get an iPhone, right?
Gets a
Right.
blowjob.
Well, that's not exactly where I was going with it. I was going to piss off the leftists.
Say it.
Okay.
Fucking say it.
Check to see if that person is receiving welfare, and prohibit them from buying a $1,000 phone.
That too. But I swear
Or
to
if
God,
you buy a $1,000 phone, we're cutting $1,000 of your welfare benefits.
if I'm gonna pay $1,000 for a phone, it better be giving me blowjobs whenever the fuck I want.
I better be able to start. I better be able to put my phone down and magically blackjack and hooker starts.
It
right
better
there.
fly me to the goddamn fucking moon.
Yes, as our buddy Old Blue Eyes used to sing so well. Frank Sinatra used to sing "Fly Me to the Moon," and my God, if I'm paying that much money for a goddamn cell phone, it better fly me to the moon.
Speaking,
Which was a very nice segue.
Yes, it was.
Yes, I just caught that.
now, speaking of the moon.
Running a little slow.
Yeah, speaking of the moon. It has come to our attention that a very, very, very prominent person,
A legend.
the astronaut among astronauts, Commander John Young, has passed away at the age of 87 this past Friday. Passed away of pneumonia, which is sad.
I'll tell you what, for an astronaut, him and John Glenn
Him and John Glenn.
outlasted everybody from that program.
Yes, they did. Now,
Because I don't know if, besides the people that worked at Houston, I don't think any of the astronauts still alive from the Apollo, from the beginning of the end of the Mercury and the Apollo.
Nope.
They were in both. Because I think there's still a couple left from the Apollo.
Apollo.
Because that ended in
yes.
that ended in the 70s.
Yes, there are still astronauts who are alive from the Apollo.
But I don't
missions.
think the Mercury and the Apollo, who did both.
No.
And this guy not only did Mercury
No.
and Apollo,
He didn't do Mercury. He did Gemini.
or Gemini.
Gemini was before Mercury.
Yeah, he was involved in all of it.
Yeah. So, this man, and I have a massive amount of respect for him because when I was a kid, I've always looked to the stars and I've always wanted to be an astronaut myself.
My mom, who introduced me to Carl Sagan, did that too. I wanted to go into space.
So, Commander John Young was born in the 1930s. He flew in the 50s for the U.S. Navy. He became a test pilot for the F-4 Phantoms and has actually made 2 time to climb.
Think about it. Time to climb. You got me on this one.
Not standards, but like records.
Yeah,
Records.
Okay,
Made 2 time to climb records for the F-4 Phantom. Made a name for himself as a Navy test pilot. When that happened, he went ahead and was contacted by NASA to become an astronaut. And he was one of the second group of astronauts after the original 7.
Mm-hmm.
This man has done so much for the Aeronautical and Space Administration. It blows my mind just reading about him. Every time it gives me goosebumps and chills. This man was part of the Gemini program, part of the Apollo program, and even commanded and flew on the shuttle Columbia. You know, he was part of the shuttle missions itself.
Mm-hmm.
This man has logged over 835 hours in space.
Some of y'all people out there don't even keep a job that long.
835 hours in space.
835 hours being in a weightless, just treacherous environment.
This man actually held the prominent figurehead for testing the guidance controllers for the space program.
Which allows our people to be able to take off, go around the Earth multiple times, and come home safely.
Make corrections in space to go ahead and change their trajectory. Him and one other person, it was Garzin, Commander Garzin, I believe that was his name,
Yeah.
were the first ones to test out this new flight controller package on
Grissom.
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 Yeah, there you go. It was,
Okay,
it
I
was
was trying to
Commander
think
Grissom.
who Garson was.
It was Commander Grissom.
Commander Grissom.
Commander Grissom and Commander Young. Commander Young was actually the commander of that Gemini pod, which only seats 2 astronauts.
That's it.
Just 2.
It's not like the Apollo where they had 3.
Correct.
2.
So he goes ahead and he tests out this flight computer which showed and paved the way for actual flight computers for the rest of the NASA administration.
It made space flight so much more safer.
On top of that, during his next Gemini mission, went ahead and used that same computer to go ahead, anchor onto a satellite to collect micrometeoroids, which actually paved the way for the actual spacewalking that was going to be used during the Apollo missions.
Not to mention the fact the pioneer for docking, for being able to start docking procedures with objects in space, which later on made it possible to have the International Space Station, also Mir,
Yes.
and things like that. Because yes, some of the stuff we were doing in the United States, we were passing along to the Russians in their endeavors because we operated on Mir.
Yes.
And so he was one of the pioneers that makes a lot of the things we even still do today very possible.
On top of that, he was also one of the foregoers to make sure that Neil Armstrong and John Glenn can go ahead and land on the moon. He went with the Apollo 10 mission before Apollo 11, which we know about Neil Armstrong, John Glenn, and Buzz Aldrin.
Yep.
To
The
go
famous
ahead,
three.
went into an orbit around the moon and tested the lunar lander module within 47,000 feet of the surface, and then brought it back.
Yep.
So they can make sure that the lunar module can go ahead and land on the moon and return back to the command module and go back to Earth.
Yep. Some of the things that he innovated as well were the reason why we were able to get some of the reason why we were able to get Apollo 13 back.
Yes. Then he was also in the Apollo 16 mission, where himself and one other astronaut went ahead, landed on the moon. He drove around on the moon buggy for 16 miles to collect over 200 pounds of moon rocks and brought it back.
Yes. The man, absolutely phenomenal. He was supposed to be on the space shuttle mission that launched the Hubble Space Telescope,
Yes.
but unfortunately, due to the Challenger accident, it got scrubbed, and he didn't fly again.
No.
He didn't fly in space shuttle again after that.
So before that, he was actually the commander for the 9th flight of the shuttle Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
And in its bay actually held the Eurolab.
Yep.
So the Eurolab is actually a prominent figure, especially for the International Space Station, because not only was it the first lab that was set up in space, but right now it's still being used to this day to continue to run tests and everything that has to do with space.
That's part of the ISS now, isn't it?
It's still part of the
Yeah.
ISS.
It's one of the first. It was one of the first pieces.
One of the first pieces.
Wasn't it
and
originally? It was originally part of Skylab.
Sky-
Skylab was the first thing to go up.
No, Skylab came after Eurolab.
I thought Eurolab was part of Skylab.
No, Skylab
Okay.
was Skylab was a completely
correct.
Skylab was a completely different station.
Okay.
Skylab is the one that burned up.
Yeah. Well, they used it to its purpose, and there was nothing more they could do with it.
Not necessarily. In fact, what happened with Skylab is that Skylab actually, when it got into orbit, it stood in orbit for about 2 months, and then its orbit started to degrade. That's what happened with Skylab. Skylab burned up.
Okay.
So that's when they went ahead and did the International Space Station, because they learned from their mistakes with Skylab, because they had it too low of an orbit.
Well, something that large, gravity's going to pull on it way
Yes.
more than something like a space shuttle or a capsule.
Absolutely.
You know, you've got gravity out above the Earth. There's still gravity. You know,
Yes.
it's very light, but it's pulling you back towards the Earth.
Absolutely.
You know, geostationary satellites and stuff like that have to use constant thrusters to readjust their alignments.
Yes.
Because gravity will move them,
Yes, it will.
and they have to keep them constantly adjusting themselves into positions.
So after the Challenger shuttle that went ahead and ended in disaster, Commander John Young was supposed to go ahead and be on the next shuttle that was supposed to launch to go ahead and send up the Hubble Space Telescope. But after a bunch of stuff that happened, and with a lot of things being into place, and since there was a vacuum on safety for the shuttles, he was forced out of the aerospace as an astronaut and retired as the chief astronaut of NASA. After that happened, he went ahead and started going onto the advisory boards as an advisor position from NASA and became an advocate for space shuttle safety.
Yep.
Which made it even possible for future shuttle flights to go ahead and take off into space and return back safely.
And to repair. In fact, he was also on the advisory team on how to put together a repair procedure.
Yes.
In case things happened to the shuttle during launch.
Like what happened with
when that Discovery.
Yeah.
Burned
Discovery.
up. Okay. Now, unfortunately, that there was no way that they could have fixed what had happened to Discovery.
No, because it happened in launch.
Well, it wasn't that. It wasn't a simple tile problem underneath the shuttle.
No.
It was a hole this fucking big in the wing.
Yeah.
There's no way to repair that in space. To this day, we do not have a procedure to repair a gaping hole in your wing section.
No.
Okay, but he did work on ways on how to repair certain tiles underneath the fuselage.
Yes.
You know, so the guy did enormously great things for our missions in space. And if we ever do go back to the moon, which has been talked about, and I would love to see us go back to the moon in my time. If we ever go to Mars, a lot of the things that will go into getting there and getting home will be because of things like people like John Young and what they've done for our programs to get this going. SpaceX. A lot of the things they're doing in SpaceX
Are because of things that John Young and
did.
others have done.
Yeah. In fact, the whole booster rocket coming back to the pad and landing was originally going to be the plan for the booster rockets for the space shuttle.
Yes.
But they could never work out exactly the guidance system to bring it back.
Yeah.
Okay. But they have that now. I watched it the other day. I watched a live launch.
Yes.
And when it separated, the booster section came back down and landed dead center on the pad.
Yes. Now, I will say this, there have been some really awesome things that John Young has done, which he actually put in his memoir. Like, he is famously known for sneaking aboard a corned beef sandwich.
Well, I mean, come on, the food in space has got to suck.
I know, but he snuck a corned beef sandwich into the shuttle.
I'm surprised one of them didn't try to smuggle a beer.
Yeah. Also, on top of that, while he was on the moon during the Apollo 16 mission, he was caught hot micing. If you don't know what hot micing is, it means that your mic is constantly on. Where he was talking about how bad his farts were because of the orange juice he was drinking.
It's Tang, the stuff that the astronauts drink. And evidently his digestive tract did not like Tang.
No, it did not.
And he was gaining extra propulsion on the moon.
Yes. And there was another thing that Grissom was talking about, which is stated in his memoir. No, it wasn't Grissom. Anyways, another astronaut who was strapped into a Gemini pod with Commander Young. It was said that, the actual flight surgeon for this, on the ground said that his heart rate hit 144 beats per minute while strapped to that Saturn V rocket.
Yeah, launching into space. I mean, my heart would be going through the roof.
But it turns out that Commander Young, his heart rate while the rocket was going only hit 70 beats per minute.
That dude probably fell the fuck asleep during launch.
So apparently, and Commander Young even said in his memoir, he goes, it was one of two things. Either I was so tired and too old for this shit. Yes, he pulled a fucking Murdoch.
He did.
Or I just didn't know what the hell was going on.
He's like, been here, done that. I mean, how many times do you got to take off in a rocket before it gets to the point where you can just sit there and go, wake me up when it's over?
I don't know.
I don't know, because I've never been strapped to the end of to the nose of a rocket before, so I couldn't tell you.
But I will say this, and myself and Rich here at the Roger and Rich Show would like to go ahead and give our condolences to the family of Commander Young, the astronaut of astronauts.
He was.
We thank you for your service, sir. May you forever reach among the stars.
Yep, Godspeed. We'll see you on the other side.
Yes.
Don't have any tang when we get there.
Now, before we go ahead and end the show, we will go ahead and say that once we go ahead and hit 100 subscribers,
yes,
we will be doing another drawing for Toyota.
Yes. Brand new.
Brand new Toyota.
We're not gonna go get a used one. It's
Nope.
gonna be brand new.
Brand spanking new.
Yes, brand new. We're giving it away. 100 subscribers, including the original people that were in the first drawing.
Yes.
We are going to raffle your names, and you could win.
Yes.
So hey, get people to our channel, get people watching, because we benefit from it as well as you do, because we get our own custom URL.
So we no longer have to put fucking YouTube / blah 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 fuck you blah blah blah.
Yeah, we can actually have YouTube / Raj and Rich show, and make it real simple, so we can sit here and say on the air, hey, post on your Facebook page and share www.youtube.com / the Raj and Rich show.
Yes.
It's so much easier. Except y'all people will probably be asking how you spell Raj. It's R-A-J. Just so you know.
Something like that.
Yeah. So there you go. So folks, that's it for this edition of the show.
I'm Raj.
And I'm Rich.
And this is the Raj and Rich Show.
And we are gone. Bye.